I'm Rachel Archelaus and Intimate Alien soon. I have with me two of my most amazing friends, RoseAnn, Janzen, and Sophie. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves to each other and to the rest of us watching?
Oh, thank you. So my name's Sophie Lisa Smith, used to be Beresford, and I am basically a wild thing incarnate, but it's easier just to say I'm an artist. So I'm an artist. And
Yeah,
that's
I
me.
noticed that. So Sophie shared with me a recording she made. You were on stage, you were doing like performance art, but you were really just channeling your Pleiadian group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was doing it in front of like lots of really normal people, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it was incredible. And so I love how you've used the term artist and really like the how art is okay, all art is okay. If it's art, it's accepted as
Mm-hmm.
a way to be comfortable doing what you do and being who you are.
Yes. It's sort of like there's a bubble of creativity, and you do what you want in it, and people can like it or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes art can be a bit stuffy in my experience going through art school and all that. And like it can be a bit stuffy, and it can be a bit like no, you're not allowed to do it that way. And I'm getting what? Like, this is creativity. This is like the generative substance of life unleashed. Like, it has to be free, in this space. And so I will always be free in that space, because that is so important to humanity. Like, some humans have got to be being free in that space. Like, it's highly important to keep that space available.
Very nice. I couldn't agree more, Sophia. So I'm RoseAnn Janzen. I am the business psychic and a source of success coach and the creator of the Expanding Consciousness game. And so my mission is expanding consciousness on the planet. That's the base of it. And in the process, I help entrepreneurs.
And you are also an artist.
I am, yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting the way my art has evolved too, because I did landscapes, very sort of a different take on landscapes. They were described by people that as the essence of whatever it was I was painting. RoseAnn paints the essence of a tree. Oh, I was really surprised by that, because of course that's what I see. But I didn't know it came across. And now my artwork has evolved into only the essence, the real source of everything. And it feels really good.
I love it. I think what we all have in common here is that we have allowed ourselves to just be who we really are and not give a crap about anything else.
Yes.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Because Sophie, I met you when we were still learning about online business, and I remember you talking to me like you felt like a bull in a china shop, and you wanted to just be free and you wanted to let yourself out, but like everyone was telling you that you couldn't do that. And then the next thing I know, you're making videos on Facebook of you dancing to like rave music in your apartment, and I was like, hell yeah, this is amazing. I love this so much. Thank you,
Rachel.
Yeah. And you've taken it so far. Like, you're impacting your community, you're winning awards, like it's amazing how when you just relax and let yourself be who you really are. No, I mean, we don't care, but normally the people around us get on board, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really the amazing part. The more we I know it's cliche to say, but are true to ourselves and aligned with our core being, the more the people around us, it's like they're waiting for that, right?
Well, we're waiting for that.
We're waiting, yeah.
We're waiting for that. And when we finally relax and let ourselves just do it, since we create our reality, we also create a receptive audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay, I know Intimate Alien is dying to talk to both of you. I am going to get her. If you guys feel like talking or chatting, go for it. She's already conversing with your bigger energy, Sophie, and your group, so it's kind of fun for me to witness that. Hello! I see two people today! wonderful color you have in your hair.
Thank you. Hello.
So many people want to know how to be in alignment and what their mission is here. And, well, I have lots to say on that, but Intimate Alien, how about if you talk about that?
Well, we could see that you would say what we would say, and that it is to be yourself, right? The wants you have inside of you, that is a wonderful place to be, because it feels so good there. It feels so good to be in yourself and to lean into what feels good for you, because that is what you are. You are what feels good to you. And the more you do that, the more you focus on that, just as like Sophie says, she is, well, maybe I do not remember right, or you both said it, but you are for this planet. You are helping this planet. You are working for this planet as you work for yourself. What feels good to you. It is all beneficial.
Yes, absolutely, and beneficial, and like Sophie, sharing what you do so openly with other people who seem like normal, and they're accepting of it, right? And it's such a gift to them to model being yourself, right? To model being our core.
Yes, and what happens is a lot of times the human brain wants to make everything from the outside in. It wants to make, like, the word mission or purpose is a very outside in word, right? Unless you are coming at it from where you two are. It is so simple, really, right? You know this. It is so simple. If you do what feels good to you and follow that, and it gets greater and juicier and deeper and more fun, right? The more you do it, the more you see what you like, who you are, what you enjoy to make. Then once you are so deeply into that, it is no extra step to share it, because you are being it. You are being yourself, and you cannot be yourself without being visible to others, right? If you are to live a life, you are visible to others. And when you be yourself and you keep being and leaning in and being, you automatically share. And then you are having so much fun that you want to share more, because you want to be more. You share more because you want to be more. Being more feels so good. So when you feel so good, you share more. And it is a natural thing. Is natural thing. So start inside, right? Like RoseAnn said, with your wants. What do you want inside? That is the only thing that you need to do.
Nice. You say it so eloquently and so clearly, Intimate Alien. I love that. And I love a point that you touched on too, is that to be happy and feel good at the beginning, and then your happiness and your feeling good expands as the further you go in and create and be yourself. And I love that. It's like you can from both ends, right? It just expands.
Whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on yourself and being happy and what feels good, of course it expands.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to hear from you both now. Yeah. What is it that you want inside of you? What feels good to you when you do it?
Oh, I've got something to say about the inside out thing and the purpose and stuff and being yourself. It's like, imagine, it's like you're a seed. You're a seed, and a seed is like a tiny little packet, and it's full of information of life. And everybody has a unique seed, and it's full of that information packet that you are. Like, that is you. Like, you have that. It's like the blueprint. Your blueprint is in your seed. And then when you nurture yourself and allow your own seed to grow, rather than trying to make it into a different flower, because everybody says it should be that flower when really you are a totally different flower. Everybody's flower that's going to bloom from their seed is completely unique, and it's a very important piece of the ecosystem of humanity, that flower that you will grow into. So if you nurture yourself even through the toughest of times and look after yourself as much as possible, and like prioritize your own like self-care and growth, it will just start flourishing and blossoming, and it will come out of you naturally. Like everybody has one growing, so it's a case of giving it space, like giving it a good pot with good soil, and then it will grow. Because I think a lot of people like try really hard, like from the outside in, like you were saying, to build it, to build what we are, like to build what they are. But actually, it's a seed and it's growing. So just nurture it, and it'll grow into what it is, and it'll show you what you are, like, and what you love and what you like and stuff. So I wanted to say that about that bit.
Yes, we love that. We love that. So tell me, how do you know if you have a good pot and good soil? What do you do to grow your seed? What do you do as a human?
Well, the first thing that, like, the thing that is most important for me is that my seed grew in an environment where the soil, it was nourished, but also there was sort of poisons being put in from culture, and they were trying to mutate my flower into something different, and telling like, your flower's the wrong flower. You need to be that colour and look like that, which is like trends. It's this thing called trends in the false culture of humanity, which I call the poo energy. Usually with stronger language, but I'll just go with poo. And that false culture is a poison that having to be trendy, having to be like everyone else. It's a poison in the pot, and also, like, let's say it gets crowded with poisonous weeds in the pot because of this poison. Like, say it makes weeds grow. So the first thing that I had to do, and it can be tough, is pull all the weeds out and remove myself. So the weeds are like the programs of that false culture, but also programs like ancestral programs from your line of what people think you can and can't do and what you should be. And I had to pull all of those weeds out, and it was really hard at first, and I never even knew if I was going to find my own flower under there, really. Like, but pulling all the weeds out was dead important, like so important, because then you can breathe a bit. Like, you don't owe that culture anything. Like, you don't owe it anything. So take it out, remove it. I haven't watched TV and I don't know how long. Like, just removing from all sources of that culture so that I could get my own system back on track. And so that was a big thing. And then literally learning how to care for myself, because my mind, part of that culture is that you get programmed to like attack yourself and feel like you're less than, you're not good enough. It's part of that false culture. So I had to allow myself to repair that by taking all the weeds out, but also learning to care for myself and talking to myself with a caring voice, like telling myself, of course you can do it, and calming myself down, like self-soothing, learning how to do that again. And what I find is when I'm calm and soothed enough, I can hear my own spirit that'll come out and speak. It's always there. It's never going to go away. So when you're calm enough, it'll come out and it'll guide you through whatever you're going through.
That is wonderful. So yes, you noticed that your environment was not helpful to you, and so you changed your focus away from it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you noticed that yourself was still not very supportive of you, and so you trained yourself into a more supportive way of being.
Correct.
Love that.
That's super that you model that too, because so many people think they can't turn that voice off in their head, or they can't change it, and it's all within our control. And it's just knowing that we can do it, which of course our culture likes to tell us that of course you can't do that, but we can. We're so amazing, and we have so much potential, and our abilities are unlimited. So just giving ourselves the permission, and to me that's what self-care really is about, is giving yourself permission to be yourself and to do all the things that you're capable of, nurturing yourself. It's not necessarily about having a bubble bath or whatever. It's about like really paying attention to yourself, your inner, and what you want,
Do you have any questions for me, or do I have questions for you?
I was just going to say about that piece about the self-care and stuff. And that's a question that has become very important for me. And asking myself, what do you need? What do you need? And then listening, like not what the next door neighbor needs or anyone else needs. Like, what do I need? And then listening, and then it'll tell us, well, you need to do this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And that is very helpful.
Yeah, and doing it, that's a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not judging it. Like, oh, I don't have time to do that, or, whatever. Of course you do. I feel like you have a question, Intimate Alien.
Do I? Let us see. Well, I am just fascinated by you because here I am, and Rachel is a great representation of this, but I am here, and I am predominantly in a different energy and dimension, and I come here just to play and to be friendly with you, but you are here all the time, and I want to know from you, are you in contact with the rest of your energy, or do you mostly just focus where you are?
Well, Intimate Alien, you and I play all the time. And so I do. I play all over the place. And sometimes it's a challenge to just focus on being here. How about you, Sophie?
I think I focus here quite a lot at the moment. I've spent a lot of time focusing anywhere but here. And now I focus here quite a lot, but I'm very much tapped into my greater energy, for sure. And that guides me through life quite a lot, like my wider, bigger energy.
Yes, you are both very integrated. It is wonderful to see.
Thank you. So do you and Intimate Alien, do you and Sophie play?
We have very much, but I do not know if she's aware. She might be aware.
Cool. I was not aware, but that is so awesome.
Yes, but it makes sense, right?
It does. Feeling your energy, Intimate Alien, it does make sense, yes. It's familiar.
Yes.
And I'd like to know too, because on occasion I'm aware when Intimate Alien visits me and here in this plane, and we have a conversation. Do you have that experience, Sophia?
And what was the question, sorry?
If you have an experience, can you sense when Intimate Alien is with you here?
I can, now that I'm here and I'm connected, I can sense the energy, and it's very familiar. And it's similar to other energies as well that I've experienced, but I wasn't aware of it until right now.
Okay, so it'll be interesting in the next week or so when Intimate Alien visits you. If you have a conversation with her, if you're like super aware of her being with you.
Rachel has found that she had a larger view lately of all of that creation. She sees that she has created far more than she ever imagined. Now, are you both aware that there are no limits to what you can experience on this planet? On the track that you are both going, you are becoming more comfortable being yourself, and that is the pathway to which these manifestations come.
I'm absolutely aware of it. And I have noticed it in others too who are on this path. When they first get on, they have like their sort of cultural wants and go for that. And they create that. And then all of a sudden they realize that they can do more. And so it as we evolve in our awareness of what we are and what we could do, what our desires evolve into the bigger version as well. And that's really that's such a magical thing, I think. And so how they in the culture they would say, like, there'll never be enough money, you'll never have enough of anything, you'll always want more. But when you're in the energy, your ability to create for the win-win and for the good of all, and to expand your vision of what you can create in such amazing ways expands. And it's such a difference in the two viewpoints, of the greediness of it all and the, oh my gosh, goodness that can be created from stepping into yourself and letting it out and letting it expand and letting your vision expand and letting your creation expand. It's so wonderful.
Yes. Yes. When you go into that place, you are feeling that there is no lack possible. There is only abundance. There is only love. There is only care. There is only joy. Mm-hmm. That is really the truth of your world. That is the truth of your world. Yes. And Sophie, you were calling it what, a false culture? Was that false energy?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we are saying here too, is that you're right. Mm-hmm. That's not really how your world works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting about like cultural desire at first, like that sort of programmed want, and then it becoming a bigger vision. I love the vision for what I'm doing, and I've accessed it bit by bit by bit by bit all of my life over time. And now, like, the vision of what I'm doing is so big, I can't hardly look at one piece at a time. Like, I can't hardly look at it all. I have to look at one piece at a time. I mean, and everything in it is interconnected. And when I'm just going about being a human, I might not see it as much, but then when I tap in later, I'll be going, wow, like that's a piece of it there, and it fits over here, and we're going to do this. And sometimes, like, the vision seems so grand and vast and massively, massively culturally transformative, because that's what I'm doing here, to transform culture and to alter it into a better position, a more life-giving position for everyone. Sometimes I get so excited, my brain sort of short circuits. I'm sure it'll come back.
By the way, we love that. We see your energy working as you say that. All that happening. It's fucking grand.
Yeah. So sometimes it'll seem so wildly grand. And then when it comes down to it, sometimes it's the most simplest actions and the most obvious things that make the transformation happen. Like, for example, I do workshops and things. So we have a rave culture that is very, very local. That is an art form that is natural to my local people. And everybody's very, like, fiercely creative within that culture. However, there are some issues within that culture because it has a lot... it's had a large destructive streak running through it as well, unfortunately. But me and my partner work together to create a new culture from that culture that's all about intelligence and creativity and being yourself and letting your own genius through, which is your own energy through, because it's genius. Like, it's life energy, it's genius, it generates everything. And so sometimes some of the simplest things I can do is I put on a family rave with our rave music that's made where I'm from, and I made it really cute. And it's not usually cute; it's usually like hard and like cool, too cool and hard, and that. It's usually like that. And I made it for family, and I had people from two different types of culture, like a more like the art gang of people. Like, there's like an arty culture that's a bit different to this rave culture. They're creative, but it's like a street culture, and it's quite hard and ghetto, And so I used the music to bring some of and I'm one of the ghetto people as well, from the ghetto-ish arena, in with like the arty people who are more about like just a softer energy, and I brought them together at a family rave. So I got to entertain and be really cute. And I put across a lot of messaging while I was there, like directing everyone to absorb energy from the universe, like at certain points in the song, and build it up and cast magic spells and things. And so by putting those two groups of people in an arena, it alters the culture, because about that rave culture, it's very insular. Nobody gets in. Hardly anybody even knows it exists unless you're part of it. So I've opened it up and brought other people in who really appreciate it from a different type of culture, to feed back the appreciation to these people, which helps them access a new avenue of our culture and see that it's accepted and stuff. And then I'm being cute over the whole thing, like doing loads of cute magic on everything, to soften it all and to open it up into a new, like, arena of growth and stuff. And that's only one tiny little snippet that's opening it up into loads of other things. But to look at that on like a human level, that was just like 90 minutes of me like being cute and wild at a rave. But really, I'm culturally splicing. So like, or culturally merging and transforming and stuff. But as I say, it looks quite simple in actuality, but the vision is massive. And it's the life energy that knows the vision, like that totality. I didn't need to build it as such. It comes to me.
Yes, we love that so much. And we love that you know that you are creating all of it, but you just receive the inspiration to create the parts. And all of the other thinking and intelligence is built into that. Yes. It is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You are creating an environment for people to choose more, for them to choose more love, more acceptance, more energy, more care, more inclusion. It is a beautiful expression.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm actually curious. Like Sophie, you talk about there's an evil aspect that got in to the old part. How do you get rid of that, or do you, or does it matter? Or I'm curious your take on that, Intimate Alien.
Oh, for me,
yeah.
Well, of course, you create what you focus on. So if you focus on getting rid of anything, you're creating more of it. So what she is doing is creating an alternative with a much higher vibration level, and that is diminishing the other automatically.
Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Sophie, or comments? Or
I would just agree that yes, by making, and it's the very same culture, it's the very same art, and it's the very same culture, like, but we are creating just a totally different arena of it, which provides access to that different arena for people, because people get culturally contained and they bounce around in that cultural container, if you know what I mean, like the way they think and everything, they bounce around in it. But we've got exactly the same culture, but it's like full of energy and life and belief in you, and I make music that's pop music, but in the pop music I take like books like you know, all about universal law or how to operate your own system, or like key things that you need to know, and then I simplify it into pop, which is repetitive and jazzy, and then it gets straight into people, and it's like a little packet of input, because a lot of the packets of input that are going round are destructive when they get in, but this is like high powered juice, like life juice. So when people are dancing to it, like they feel like they come more and more and more and more alive and more open to their own energy. So it's like a hyper activator. So it's the same culture but totally different really over here. And when the people in this culture have a direct link to it, because it's the very same culture, it illuminates them completely, because it's their culture too. It's just this evolution of it. So it allows them to progress in every way, even in their social, their social interactions and the patterns that they produce there. We're offering a completely new model, but it's easy to step into. I'm sorry, I keep getting messages. It's not my phone. It's easy to step into because it's the same culture, only very different.
Mm-hmm. And I love too that we're seeing that throughout the world now, like even in Disney movies and you know, all kinds of things. Like the expanded view is creeping in, and the messages are getting out. And I totally support that. We have one question into Medallion from a listener, and she wants to know if she's on the right track using color therapy in for herself and for her family.
That is a wonderful question. And first, I want to say that, Sophie, we are all here doing the same thing in our own way for different cultures, right? Like RoseAnn was working in finance for a very long time and is still teaching finance, but in a very aligned way, as, along with many other things that she does. And of course, I am an alien, and I am not a scary alien. I am a very colorful alien, and so it is helping people become not afraid anymore. I'm seeing that we are what you call people too, even though we do not usually, on my world, have bodies, but Rachel is so kind to let me borrow hers. Yes, and right now, let's see, is she on the right path? You always know if you are on the right path, if what you are doing feels good to you. It is that simple. It is that simple. If you're smiling while you are studying, you are on the right path. If it feels good to think about doing that in your life, then it is the right path. You make things very complicated on your world sometimes, and really all you need to do is ask yourself, am I enjoying this? Am I enjoying this? Not should I be enjoying this? Not could I be? Not if I did it better. No, am I enjoying this right now? That is all you need to know.
I have another interesting thing that came up in another place, and that was with someone else. Like the person talking about it was very much in alignment and on the path, but the person she was talking about thought that if they had this other thing, this bigger, better thing, they would be happy. And so this is creating, because they're close, this is creating a tension in her. And so how would you what would you tell her?
If you get happy now, all that you want that will also make you happy will come to you. But it is your choice to be happy or not. It is your choice to look within yourself and see, oh, wait, this thought brings me joy. This thought does not bring me joy. Align with the thought that does bring you joy. And then you will receive the inspirations to do things that bring you joy and create things that bring you joy and be around people who bring you joy. And then you will allow the things that bring you joy into your life. Because you cannot have the thing that will make you feel better if you do not feel better. You need to be in vibrational harmony with what you have in your life. That is how your life works. So if you want something that is a happier version of what you already have, become a happier version of yourself, and then you will have it.
And that brings us full circle.
And that would require doing what Sophie said and nurture yourself so that you do become happier.
Awesome.
Yes, full circle, we like that
too. So, our viewers, go ahead, Sophie.
I was just going to say about whether to know whether it's the right path or not. There's a big difference between that which you are attracted to do or forcing yourself to do. So if you're attracted to do it, even if you're scared of doing it, but you're attracted to do it, like that is the quote unquote like right path. If you're attracted to do it, you're trying to force yourself to do it. It looks like the right path. Like if you're trying to force yourself, then that's the wrong path, probably. But if you're attracted to it, then that is the right path. And also on the matter of paths, sometimes paths are like windy, and sometimes you do something for a little while, and then your path will take you off into something else. But as long as you're feeling it and you're really attracted to it, and something in you must do it, it's like, then that's the right path. And it doesn't have to be like, that's my path forever. That could be a piece of your path for an even bigger path you're going to do. So,
Okay, that actually brought up something else talking about that was that so some people they know that they want this thing, they want, or this direction, they really want it, but they seem to just keep having roadblocks in front of them, and they keep losing their way and being stalled, and then they get confused about, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that isn't what I want. So how could you help those people?
That is a wonderful, you both described something very accurate. Sophie described the path of least resistance. Mm-hmm. It is what you do in the moment. What do you do in the moment? What you are most attracted to? What gives you the most energy? What feels the best? And it does not need to make sense, as she said. It might be one little part, and then you'll be on to something else. You might be doing that thing for a month or two. Who knows? But it will all make sense eventually. As Sophie says, she sees glimpses of how everything comes together. Mm-hmm. RoseAnn is describing that glimpse, the glimpse of what you want that you aren't ready for yet. Because maybe you have resistance to that. You have a belief that you cannot have that yet. So there is a gap between you achieving that thing and right now. And if you try to force yourself there, you will see obstacles. Whereas if you just follow the path of least resistance, as Sophie has outlined, you will get there, but in the easier, funner way. It does not mean, so if there are obstacles, it does not mean you are not going there. It just means that that is not the direct path there. It means there is a better, easier, more fun path for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Okay, ladies and Alien, are we complete for today? Or would you like to say anything else?
I want to say thank you for being here. This is so much fun. We love both of you so much. Thank you so much.
It has been a joy, and really nice to meet you, Sophie.
Oh, thank you so much. I wanted to show you this and see if it works. Look. Oh, can you see?
Oh, that is wonderful.
And my hair. Look at it all. I just wanted to show you that. It's so much fun, this makeup.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Did you know that Rachel and I are doing a photo shoot soon with UV paint and glitter? We have those things.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Me too.
About we want to come to one of your parties.
That would be amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of aliens like coming to the parties. The aliens have got a lot to do with these parties in the first place.
Yes, well, the Pleiadian energy is very accustomed to what you are doing. Mm-hmm. You have noticed that, though, yes.
I certainly. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say to everyone watching, like, you can do it, whatever it is that you desire to do. You can do it, like, nurture yourself and tell yourself that you can do it. And we all have a blueprint that's unfolding, and that blueprint is what we really truly desire deep down. We desire to be in touch with that which we truly are, and we already own it. It's already inside of us, like we already have it. So whatever it is that you want to do, you can totally do it and self-actualize yourself in your totality this life. I truly believe that, and that is all I wanted to say.
Expand into yourself. Mm-hmm. Love it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and Sophie for joining Intimate Alien and I today, and of course, Intimate Alien, for your fabulous wisdom, as always. Okay, so please share, please like, and we will see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!
Bye!